Hey everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Have you ever lived in a Newman Center? Then you might know a little something about today's saint. St. John Henry Newman was probably one of the most influential English-speaking theologians of the 19th century. But surprisingly, he did not begin his career in theology as a Roman Catholic. In fact, the first half of his life was spent as a leader in the Anglican Church. He studied at Oxford's Trinity College, tutored at Oriel College, and was vicar of the Church St. Mary the Virgin for 17 years. When the Oxford movement started to take form in 1833, he was at the helm, helping to organize and lead the movement with his own intellectual prowess. The movement sought to reform the Church of England, stressing its Catholic elements and seeking a return to the fundamentals of the Church Fathers. It was during this time that John Henry composed his popular 8-volume work, Parochial and Plain Sermons, which helped to spread the Oxford movement throughout England. By 1839, Henry's influence upon the Church of England was undeniable. He focused on the dogmatic authority of the Church, fighting against the idea that truth could be subjective. Along with his powerful writing influence, John Henry was also seen as a man of integrity who lived what he preached, which gained him many followers. But Henry was delving too much into church history. His moderate followers began to suspect that he was no longer holding to strong Protestant principles when his Tract 90 seemed to agree with the Council of Trent. Eventually, his tracts were suspended from circulation and denounced by the Bishop of Oxford. Feeling dejected and disillusioned about the original unity of the Church of England, John Henry withdrew to his chapelry of Littlemore with his closest followers and established his own sort of monastery. Then, in 1845, after his own intense intellectual battle with faith and the development of Catholic doctrine, John Henry was received into full communion with the Catholic Church, later writing his essay on the development of Christian doctrine. 2 years after becoming Catholic, he was ordained a priest in Rome and joined the congregation of the Oratory, founded by St. Philip Neri. Overall, Newman is credited with writing 40 books and 21,000 letters. In 1879, he took up the mantle of cardinal, choosing the motto, "Heart speaks to heart." His poems, novels, and other writings fully express his sensitive heart and strong foundation upon philosophy and the pursuit of truth. In 1080, John Henry Newman died and was buried in Rednall. 3 years after his death, a Newman Club for Catholic students formed at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. Eventually, his name was linked to ministry centers at public and private universities across the United States. He was canonized by Pope Francis in 2019. Today, we remember John Henry Newman as a man devoted to truth and steadfast in his dedication to preaching the gospel both in word and deed. St. John Henry Newman, pray for us.